Did you know that American Sign Language isn't the same everywhere? It's true. Many people assume ASL is universal, but that's not quite the case. Let's dive into this fascinating world of visual communication and uncover some surprises. When we think about language, we often picture spoken words, but for millions of people, language is all about hands, facial expressions, and body movements. American Sign Language is a rich, complex language used by many deaf and hard-of-hearing individuals in the United States and parts of Canada. However, just like spoken English has its quirks and variations, ASL isn't as uniform as you might think. Imagine you're on a road trip across America. As you travel from state to state, you might notice people using different words for the same thing. In some places, it's a soda. In others, it's pop. Well, ASL has its own version of this linguistic diversity. Signs can vary from one region to another, creating a tapestry of visual dialects across the country. These regional variations in ASL are like accents or slang in spoken language. They add flavor and character to communication, reflecting the unique culture and history of different deaf communities. For example, the sign for birthday might look slightly different in California compared to New York. It's not that one is right, and the other is wrong. They read just different ways of expressing the same idea. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While ASL has its regional quirks within the United States, when we zoom out to a global perspective, we see an even greater diversity in sign languages. American Sign Language is just one of many sign languages used around the world. British Sign Language, BSL for instance, is completely different from ASL. If an ASL user and a BSL user met, they wouldn't be able to understand each other without some serious effort. French Sign Language LSF is another distinct sign language, with its own grammar, vocabulary, and cultural nuances. It's a reminder that sign languages, like spoken languages, have evolved independently in different parts of the world. They're not just visual representations of spoken languages, but fully fledged languages in their own right. Now, you might be wondering, if ASL varies from place to place, how do deaf people from different states communicate? Great question. Despite these regional differences, there's still a strong core of shared signs and grammatical rules in ASL. Most ASL users can understand each other pretty well, even if they encounter an unfamiliar sign now and then. Think of it like this. If you're from the Midwest and you visit the South, you might hear some unfamiliar expressions or pronunciations, but you'd still be able to have a conversation. The same goes for ASL users from different regions. They might notice some variations, but the basics remain consistent enough for smooth communication. These differences in ASL and other sign languages are unjust linguistic curiosities. They're re-expressions of culture and community. Just as spoken languages evolve to reflect the experiences and needs of their speakers, sign languages adapt to the unique contexts of deaf communities around the world. For instance, some signs might be influenced by local industries or landmarks. In a coastal town, the sign for fish might be slightly different from the one used in a landlocked area. These subtle variations tell a story about the community's history and daily life. It's also worth noting that sign languages can change over time, just like spoken languages. New signs emerge to describe new technologies or cultural phenomena. Older signs might fall out of use or evolve. This dynamic nature of ASL and other sign languages reflects the vibrant, living communities that use them. Here's a fun way to think about it. Imagine if your local slang was expressed through hand movements instead of words. That's kind of what regional variations in ASL are like. It's a visual representation of the diversity and creativity found in any language community. Learning about these variations in ASL can be eye-opening for those who aren't familiar with deaf culture. It challenges our assumptions about language and communication, reminding us that there's so much more to language than just spoken words. For hearing people learning ASL, understanding these regional differences can be both a challenge and an exciting aspect of language learning. It's like discovering new dialects or accents when learning a spoken language. It adds depth and richness to the learning experience. Moreover, recognizing the diversity within ASL and among sign languages worldwide fosters a greater appreciation for deaf culture and linguistic diversity in general. It reminds us that language, whether spoken or signed, is a living, breathing entity that reflects the communities that use it. So, the next time you see people communicating in sign language, remember that you're witnessing not just a language, but a window into a rich cultural tapestry. ASL, with its regional flavors and variations, is a beautiful example of how language adapts and thrives in diverse communities. In conclusion, while American Sign Language might not be universal, it's a vibrant, dynamic language that connects people across the country. Its regional variations and the existence of different sign languages around the world highlight the incredible diversity of human communication. Whether through spoken words or hand movements, language continues to surprise and fascinate us with its ability to evolve and express the unique experiences of communities everywhere.